Hey guys, Don here from Novaspirit Tech and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be checking out the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro HDMI capture device. So let's get started. Now, one of the things I mainly use in this channel are HDMI capture devices, specifically the standalone capture devices, not the ones for streaming like for Twitch or for YouTube Live. Now, Cloner Alliance actually has provided me with the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro on this video review. So if you want to check out anything I talk about, will be linked down in the description below. So to give you guys a little bit of a history of how important these things are and what you're going to get from the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro, I'll start off with the AGB tech. Now, this is one that I purchased when I first started this channel. This thing I think cost about $100. This has been nothing but problems from day one all the way till for the 2 years that I used it. I just lived with the problems, but there had so many problems to the point where it actually cost me production issues. There are times where this device wouldn't record onto the USB, and also the mic input never synced up with the actual video footage, and quite a few other things here and there. But mainly this is out of production, so you can't even purchase this one anymore. But I stood by it and used it as much as I can because I didn't want to purchase another device. But it got to the point where I needed to. This thing was just costing me money just to keep it around. There's, like I said, times where I was trying to record something. This would actually not record, even though it says it was recording, and the file would be 0 bytes, and I just lost the entire time and had to refilm whatever I did at that time. I finally made the move over to using the Cloner Alliance Evolve. And this has been my go-to since 2019 up until now, up until actually last week where I started using the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro. This is by far one of my favorite devices, and you could still probably purchase this one, the Evolve itself. It has 2 inputs and 1 output, which allows me to select different sources, and it works as a standalone device where you could actually stick in a USB or SD card and it'll record directly on there. So you don't need to rely on another computer with OBS to capture the device. It also has mic input, headphones, and support for 4K input, but only 1080 output. Now that's only the Cloner Alliance Evolve. The only downside to this one, which I could deal with, is that when you capture the mic, it actually passes through directly to the speaker. So anytime that I'm recording something for you guys, I actually have to turn off the speaker or it's going to echo back and make that ringing noise. So I really couldn't tell how my volume was or what I'm listening to at times when I'm hitting a YouTube video or playing something for you. So that was the only issue that I had with this. But otherwise, this has been a great device. Why would you want a standalone device? It's because if you're recording something like what I do on YouTube, where we don't always have a computer available with OBS, or if you're trying to record a console device where it's not hooked up to any computer, this would just act as that middle point where it'll record everything onto the SD card for you, and then you don't have to rely on another computer. Unlike one of these guys, which is the Cloner Alliance Flint. Now this is a 4K capture device, which is great. I've actually used this quite a few times on my Twitch channel and sometimes on the live over here. This is a great capture device with audio input and in and out. Also supports USB-C, which is USB 3, and it's very low latency if you're doing something on your screen and you want to stream it directly. And this is something that you will want to use when you're actually streaming. Now here comes the latest device that they just shipped me, which is the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro. This took the Cloner Alliance Evolve and stepped it up a lot. Now this only records maximum of 16 megabits, while the new UHD Pro actually can record up to 30 megabits. Also supports 4K input and 4K output. So I'm actually able to use a 4K monitor now and record anything that I need to be in 4K. It's also a standalone device, so you have a USB in the side, and it could actually capture in MP4 on X264 and X265, as well as the formats that it could actually read the USB device on: FAT32, NTFS, and exFAT. So it actually supports a wide array of devices that you could put in. Now they did remove the support for micro SD card compared to the old version, but I find USBs a little bit more reliable than relying on an SD card. I could lose those things very easily, or it breaks very easily. So the USB that I plug in is much better, I believe. You also have support for line in, line out, and mic in. And it doesn't have that issue where it actually passes through the speaker. And you could also still control the volumes through the remote itself. In the front, you have 3 buttons. You could change the encoding format, take a snapshot of the picture, or press the record button. And it has this ring LED around the entire device that tells you what it's doing at that certain time. So different colors tell you, is it recording, is it not recording, is it on, stuff like that. This entire device is definitely built a lot better than the previous one. This device also has a lot of cool features where If you don't have anything plugged in, it'll actually tell you the status of the actual device. If it has any input, is it output, does it have any schedules going on, because you could actually schedule time frames with this on when to record, like say shows, a bunch of other stuff on the main menu. And then when you actually plug something in, you have a sub menu on the side to tell you what it's plugged in, what resolution is in, is it recording something. So it has a lot of messages, so you know exactly what this device is doing, even though if it's like hidden in the background. Now again, on my previous video that I just did on Elementary OS 6.0, that capture was actually through this device. It was actually me testing and also making a video out of it. And the recording came out definitely better than the Cloner Alliance Evolve, just mainly because it doubles the bitrate. It's from 16 to 30. So you're going to get a higher quality just right off the bat. Now, as far as the input goes for the resolution, you could do up to 1080 60 frames per second or 4K 30 frames per second, and a list of ranges between there on what you can record. But when you're at 4K, you only can record at 30 frames per second, which is 30p, and at 1080 you could record at 60. Compared to the old device where you were maximum of 1080 at 30 frames and 720 at 60 frames. So if you guys are serious about recording console devices or your desktop, like what I'm doing here, where I have to record the BIOS boot up screen or certain setups where I don't have OBS installed, definitely this device is like almost a must have. Now this is a little bit pricier at $209, I believe, compared to the Cloner Alliance Evolve, which is $139, I believe. So either one of these work really, really well. I will still use this one for other stuff, while this will be my main device. So if you're interested in any one of these, or even the Flint where you're going to be using some streaming devices, I will leave all the links down in the description below for that. So anyway, if you guys got any questions about the Cloner Alliance UHD Pro, let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing. Also hit that bell notification icon so you know when the next video is going to be out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.